Well, ladies and gentlemen, ever since I spanked my son ranting for vengeance, aka the 15-year-old comic book reviewer, it seems that he hasn't learned a thing, as he is back in these streets causing mayhem and looking for some attention. You see, Marvel just dropped the trailer for their new movie, The Fantastic Four First Steps, and I have to say, as a fan watching that trailer, I got excited, okay? I want to watch this movie, but you know who wasn't impressed? Of course, Ranting for Vengeance, as he released a video reviewing this trailer titled Fantastic Four First Steps is total garbage, and it's like, bro, this is just the trailer. You ain't even watched the movie yet.
So very quickly, let's just get into how this movie will undoubtedly suck. So the first major offense with this movie is the gender swapped Silver Surfer. If we jump over here, we see that Fantastic Four casts Ozark star Julia Garner as Silver Surfer in gender swapped role that upsets fans. The character of Shala Bal, who nobody heard of and nobody really cares about, reportedly appears as the Silver Surfer in the comics set in an alternate reality. That's the key phrase right there, alternate reality. It's almost like an excuse that these people use to gender swap and race swap every single thing they can get their hands on. It's not for the good of the story or the fact that it is an alternate reality. You're just doing it because you want to. And my response is this.
Oh boy. We got a badass over here. I hope you guys are protecting your pooper hole because, well, Ranting for Vengeance needs somewhere to shove this middle finger, and he's coming for you now. You're a retard, okay? Ranting for Vengeance, alternate universe is not some kind of code word to race swap characters or gender bend them. It's literally what the words present to you, okay? It is an alternate universe, as in, this is going to be a universe that you're familiar with, but, it's not the one that you're used to, okay? Things are going to be different. I know this is a really hard concept to understand, but maybe your galaxy brain can figure this out. I also want to acknowledge how this fucking idiot starts out the video with woman bad and this movie is woke and bad because they turned the Silver Surfer into a woman. And I found this point very strange from Ranting for Vengeance, as clearly he knows who Shala Bal is. Now, for those of you at home that may not be familiar with this character, she's just, I don't know, the Silver Surfer's fucking wife. So this is not a case of gender swapping. I mean, he's acting like they just turned a random character into a woman, when it's literally just a case of the alternate universe story using characters that the comic already established.
Do not comment. Don't come at me saying it's an alternate universe. How do you not know that? I know that. I just don't care. I don't care if it's a super wormhole, alternate, different planet where everybody has to be race swapped and gender swapped. The people who do this aren't doing it for the sake of it's an alternate reality. They're doing it because they're mentally ill psychos in real life.
Yeah. Really showing your age here. I mean, you really are 15, as Ranting for Vengeance says, I don't give a fuck, mate, that it's an alternate universe. What do you mean? And, if you don't give a fuck, then we really can't have a conversation, but I just gotta disagree with this kid, okay? He's saying that the people that do the alternate universe movies or, the gender swap characters or race swap them, they're mentally ill psychos, bruv. I think you're the mentally ill psycho, okay? Because who the fuck is reading into the Silver Surfer being portrayed as a woman who was already in the comics? Like, if anything, I'd imagine this could make some good interactions, but, women characters is a bit too much for Ranting for Vengeance, I guess.
That is where the comic accuracy really does stop. So the Thing is a famously Jewish character. So of course, to be accurate, they brought in a Jewish actor to play the role. Seems pretty straightforward, right? Well, then we get to kind of, the leader of the team, Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, the white guy, and he's being played by Pedro Pascal. It's in his name. Amigo, sorry to break it to you, but you're not Reed Richards. I don't care if you really like the character or if you play him well, you're not him.
Now, let me tell you something, my amigo. Ranting for Vengeance, you little Mark bitch. Now, first off, where do we even begin? You called Pedro Pascal a Mexican. but he's actually Chilean. Now, you didn't call him Latinx. I'll give you some props for that, but wait until Ranting for Vengeance finds out that people with Latino heritage and culture actually can have blood of Spaniards or even other white people. I mean, that's a crazy fucking conceptual thought. But for Ranting for Vengeance, I'm surprised he didn't know this because he's a genius and he knows everything. Like, do you see this brother's face right here? I don't give a fuck if Pedro was Guatemalan, Chilean, or Mexican. The homie is white, okay? And he is actually kind of the perfect guy to play Reed Richards. But nope, according to the genius 15-year-old Ranting for Vengeance, Pedro Pascal is not white enough to play Reed Richards. And I really find this funny because if you put both of their faces together, you can see why the director casted Pedro Pascal for this role. I mean, this is not a case of race swapping or the Mexican guy is playing a white guy. This is not fucking George Lopez as Reed Richards. I mean, Pedro Pascal is white as shit and he looks just like Reed Richards. I don't understand where the disconnect is happening here.
And the funny part is, even if you take away all the political stuff, the film just doesn't look good. This is supposed to be the first steps, the beginnings to a new Marvel universe. And it just looks mediocre. If you take any other superhero movie from, 10 years ago, they're already way more impactful and just way better. Batman 89 will forever be iconic and stick around for years and years. The Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy is one of the best superhero things to exist. Fantastic Four First Steps is just not gonna cut it. I don't care if Galactus shows up, if they're bringing in comic accuracy, which I'll get to in a second. To be perfectly honest, this film just doesn't look good. Doesn't look like some groundbreaking thing that people are going to be watching over and over again for the next 20 years.
Oh my God, little bro, let it go. It was over 10 and 20 years ago. You weren't even around when these movies came out. You're like 15. And I guess you don't think that things are going to evolve as you're referencing these classics from all this time back. Like, bro, this is a fucking Fantastic Four movie that actually looks pretty impressive, but here's Ranting for Vengeance saying, this movie's not gonna cut it, bro. It doesn't look like it's gonna age well. You haven't even given the movie a chance to come out and age well.
Can people just stop hyping up these movies as if they're going to be the next Iron Man or Spider-Man, when in truth, it's never going to be that, like, ever again. The people making these movies have no care for the characters. That's why they'll throw in a woman to play Silver Surfer, drop in a Mexican guy to play Reed Richards, but then cast a Jewish actor as a Jewish character, so we're perfectly comic accurate. Now, I'm not gonna ask why they did that, but it just proves my point that it's a double standard. To no surprise, this movie is gonna suck. I'm not gonna be watching it, and I'm sure a lot of people out there will be doing the same.
All right, so I don't expect a 15-year-old to make much sense, but especially this little guy. What's the double standard here? I'm going to let you know, right? There is none, okay? Two white roles. They gave the Jewish guy one. They gave the pale guy the other. And Ranting for Vengeance, no matter how much you say, Mexican Reed Richards, hardy har har, it wasn't funny the first time. It's not funny the next. The brother is pale, and he can pass for Reed Richards. I just think that Ranting for Vengeance is mad that it's not a full-blooded white guy, and he's clearly distraught over the Silver Surfer being a woman. He says that the directors don't care about the actors and no one's gonna watch this. It's not like the Iron Man and Spider-Man days. Well, you know what, little guy? If you're so obsessed with the old days and you're some genius Hollywood director that we've misinterpreted, okay? We don't understand the genius we're looking at, then why don't you go to fucking Hollywood, become a fucking producer, and make some fucking movies and go into business for yourself, since clearly you know better than all of Hollywood, apparently.
And for the people who are going to consume every second of this and love it, I genuinely think that you do not have a place anywhere near comic books. Oh yeah, and P.S. if Pedro Pascal is playing Mr. Fantastic, I just want to ask, what's he really fantastic at? Cleaning houses or jumping over the border? And if you got a problem, go complain to your boyfriend.
Hey, man, I gotta admit, I love when he does the middle finger emote to the camera. Ranting for Vengeance, if you're watching this, which I know you are, keep doing that, man. It's really growing on me. But anyways, you little Mark, let me tell you something. I'm about to go unk mode right now. I've been reading comics for over 15 years as a hobby and been involved in the community. Now, what does that mean, Ranting for Vengeance? Well, do the math. You're 15 years old. I've been reading for over 15 years, baby. I have been reading comics way before you was even thought of. So if I could watch that new Fantastic Four movie and I enjoy it, I'd love for you to try and stop me from talking about comics, picking up a comic, and reading them. Ranting for Vengeance also made some very funny jokes about Pedro Pascal being a Mexican Reed Richards, like he was going to clean the house and have the superpower to jump over the border. And that's hilarious. That's comedy gold, but I just have a very strange feeling that Ranting for Vengeance wouldn't say this shit in front of Danny Trejo, the fucking Salamanca twins, in front of a real anybody that's actually not racist, really, would probably slap you in your shit for saying these kind of comments. But, you know, the real point here that I want to make to Ranting for Vengeance is, you think you're insulting Latino people? Bro, that's how I speak to my little brother, man. We laugh at that kind of shit. You are just exposing yourself for being a bigot. And I swear to God, when you try to get a job, your digital footprint is going to hit like crack in the 80s for your employer. You little fucking Finding Nemo and the dentist looking bitch. And don't even get me started with the sentence that he actually used to finish this video.
And if you got a problem, go complain to your boyfriend.
Sus.
And if you got a problem, go complain to your boyfriend.
I'm trying to tell you, man, this kid has an identity problem, and he's like 15 years old. I actually kind of feel bad for him. He thinks everything is woke in an effort to destroy him, but Ranting for Vengeance, I can assure you, nobody thinks about you, okay? Nobody wants to destroy you. It's just the fact that you want to be a widow victim because you're a crybaby. I mean, you might have actually been able to win some people over if you just, I don't know, gave some good, honest critique about the trailer and made some real assessments like how maybe Doom should have been the main villain of this movie instead of Galactus. And you could have talked about why are we doing the whole Robert Downey Jr. Doom thing. You could have talked about how, based on the promotion, it feels like this Sue Storm is going to fall into the typical male gaze actress role, just like the prior Sue Storm, Jessica Alba, did, and how that's bad. But no, instead, Ranting for Vengeance would rather argue about trivial shit like Pedro Pascal not being white enough to be Reed Richards. Are you out of your fucking mind, son? You know, I remember when I was 15 and I knew I was fucking stupid, but Ranting for Vengeance, you are fucking stupid. I mean, it's like every time I see this kid, he just gets dumber and dumber. And trust me, every time you do something stupid, I'll be there to correct you. You Down syndrome, Mort Goldman looking ass motherfucker, hating on a movie that ain't even out yet for clicks and views. You ruining my vibe. Actually, I don't like you in my space. I don't like you in my presence. I don't know how your video ain't been took down yet by YouTube. But anyways, you know, to end today's video, I actually think it's appropriate to pay tribute to Stan Lee with a quote that he said that was very insightful in ending racial division and intolerance on all levels. And I think everyone should hear this. Fuck bitches, get money. Stan Lee. Truly inspiring. God bless the man. Rest in peace. And just let me know in them comments below on what you guys make out of this second situation with my little son Ranting for Vengeance. You know, he's always acting out. He's looking for attention, but as long as daddy's around, that ain't gonna happen, small fry. So make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell notification. If you subscribe to the channel, I think I'm gonna light myself on fire like the Human Torch. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and play my music.
And if you got a problem, go complain to your boyfriend.
What we do here is go back.